Hey guys, SpecV here for another video. Today I'm going to give you my review on the SR20 thermostat and the gutted thermostat mod. So as you saw in my previous video, if you watched it, I installed the SR20 thermostat into the block, and then we put a gutted thermostat into the head. The reasoning being, the SR20 thermostat opens at 170 degrees, whereas the stock one opens at 180, so it opens a little bit lower for temperature. And the gutted thermostat on the head allows for better coolant flow, and it allows the heat to come on faster also, which was a nice benefit. So what do I think after having driven around with it and doing autocross with the car? So what I noticed is the car itself warms up quicker. So beforehand, the car would take a good hot minute to fully warm up. I could be on the highway and be at 170-ish degrees, which was not optimal. So now, after everything, the things I have noticed that are different, and it's very possible that one of my thermostats could have been faulty, resulting in the problems that I had. But I'm just going to treat it as if it didn't, because everyone does this mod. So the OEM thermostat, it would only be like around 160, 170-ish degrees on the highway, which again could be contributed to it being a faulty part. But I also noticed that autocross, because I have a little OBD2 scanner that goes into the OBD2 reader. Something I noticed was it would be at like 220 degrees after a run, which not tremendously hot, but it's still like pretty damn hot. And the issue you get when the coolant gets too hot is you can risk the oil actually starting to degrade and burn up, and like oil burning off and leaving deposits inside the motor is not optimal, both for oil flow, and you don't want the lubricative and detergent properties of the oil to be burned away, because then it's not doing its job as well as it could be. So after having installed the mod, the car warms up faster, for damn sure it warms up faster. On the highway, it rests between 178-ish degrees to 180-ish, which is better than it was before. That's where I would want it to be at. And at autocross, when I'm driving the car hard as hell, putting it to its limits, it has not once gone over 204 degrees, which is a huge difference between the 220. Some of you might be thinking, well, the coolant temperature is lower, that means the engine isn't as warm, and thus the oil temperature isn't as high. So it's actually a good thing, because like I said, if you have the coolant temperature to be too hot, then A, you don't want your engine to get too hot, or you don't want it to overheat, and B, you don't really need to worry about the oil you're more worried about the oil being too hot, because as I said about the properties of the oil degrading over time, so having this actually cooler helps out the oil, and it helps it retain its lubrication properties. So some of you in the B16 Century community have probably seen that Mishimoto sells a quote-unquote upgraded thermostat for the head and the block. I do not recommend getting it. What confuses me is it's supposedly for racing, but the heat range is the exact same. The block is rated for 180 degrees, and the head is rated for 204-ish degrees, I believe. So I see absolutely no point in getting those thermostats, and I have heard of them failing very frequently. So I guess you could say, to sum it all up, do I see it as a worthwhile upgrade? Yes, 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 absolutely. Might as well do it. Especially if it's a higher mileage car, I'd say why the hell not? And you guys saw that I changed my coolant temperature sensor, which does indeed have an effect on temperature, because it can give the engine false readings. And I changed the hoses out as well. So if you need further proof that the thermostat works well, which the only reason I'm bringing up people that might not see it is for the same concerns I had about the coolant being 20 degrees cooler. On the B16 SpecV, I don't know the other B16 Sentras are like this, I just know the SpecV is. There is open loop mode and there's closed loop mode. Open loop mode is when you first turn the motor on and it's not fully warmed up and it's warming up. It's an open loop, which means that it's not taking in input from all the other sensors. Closed loop mode is the exact opposite. The engine is fully warmed up and now it's taking in coolant temperature sensor, intake air temperature sensors, all the stuff. So the B16 SpecV enters closed loop at 140 degrees. So it's not like you even have to worry about the car not fully warming up. So that's not a problem at all. I haven't had a single issue out of it. And because the engine's allowed to run a little bit cooler, because the engine is cooler, it can thus run more timing. Which, running more timing, obviously, that's a good thing. And if the engine gets too hot and it's trying to run timing, it's actually going to pull timing if it's running too hot, which if it doesn't pull timing, that can result in detonation, which is not good. So all around, a very good mod. I mean, the fucking SR20 thermostat, I want to say it was 15 to 20 bucks. You can gut the stock thermostat. You just have to take out the actual mechanical portion of the thermostat. You have to leave the outside intact so you have a seal so it doesn't leak. So all in all, 20 bucks for the thermostat. Honestly, the gutted thermostat is honestly free. I would just recommend putting a new seal on that one and get a new seal for the SR20 thermostat because most of the time they don't come with a new one. And I think it was like $10 I spent on the new coolant temperature sensor, which it's on the housing, that the water control valve, which is what the upper thermostat is technically called. The sensor is right there, so I see it as a why the fuck wouldn't you do it type thing. So yep, all in all, fantastic mod. Lower temperatures, no, or at least lesser oil degradation. It runs even better with the stock tune. So yep, all in all, fantastic mod. Totally recommend it. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and comment if you have anything to say about what I've already done or what I might do, or just questions in general. So thank you so much for watching the video. Have a great day. Peace.